Today I went outdoors and took photos with all these items in my hand to compare the 3 most common ways people use to get the right white balance for their cinematic portraits. Starting of course with the Sony cap or the random gray item like my sweater or even this gray watch band that I got inspired by Gerald and Dunn. The idea here being that you're gonna shoot a close enough white balance and then you're gonna use the eyedropper to fix it in post. The second method is gonna be the gray card like this one that I have inside of my spider color checker from Data Color. And finally, the last one is gonna be using a dedicated color meter like the one in the Lumo light meter from Revini Labs. And I'm gonna start with this photo over here, which was shot at 5500 Kelvin, which is considered to be daylight balance. But if I grab the eyedropper and pick a point on my chest over here in direct sunlight, it already jumped to 6100 Kelvin. But if I go any further and do the same thing on the gray card, I got 6600 Kelvin, and if I do it one more time on the Sony Landscape, my white balance jumped to 7300 Kelvin. So the different readouts are all over the place, and the Sony Landscape is even a bit too warm. And in the same location, we can see the readout from the Revini Labs Lumo being 6600 Kelvin as well. So the readout for the gray card and the light meter were pretty much spot on, but that was on an overcast day, and I took this even further, taking a lot more sample photos with both of them in my hand at the same time. And while in direct sunlight the readings were pretty close, the gray card showed me 5300 Kelvin and the light meter showed me 5400 Kelvin, but the story changes completely when we move into the shadows. Because here, if I do my white balance on the gray card, I'm getting a very warm photo. But if I follow the meters reading and go for 9300 Kelvin, I'm getting a way more balanced look where the shadows lean into a bit of a blue and the highlights still remain warm as the sunlight. And that's exactly what I want before I start editing my photos, so I can pull out that natural color contrast and get more dynamic and vibrant photos at the end of the day. And if you like the grain in those photos, you should probably check out my website or even the video that I link below, where I take a deep dive into what makes a great film grain emulation. Thank you for watching, subscribe if you like Lightroom tutorials, and I'll see you in the next one.